What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we're hopping into Unbreakable X-Men issue number 3 from the Age of Revelation storyline. This is our final issue. It all comes down to this right here. This is Old Man Gambit's final stand. Now, our story, it starts us off at Haven House, Louisiana, as we are right now, before Revelation takes over the whole 9 yards. And if you've been reading the X-Men comics, you're gonna know who these kids are. These are part of the Louisiana X-Men. You got Ransom, Calico, Jitter, Death Dream. These 4 kids have come together, and they're making a vow. Death Dream saw into Shavaric's heart. He knows the kind of revenge that she wants. Because she was imprisoned for so long, she wants darkness during daytime. She wants to be alone on Earth. She wants to be alone forever, which means she wants to get rid of everything. Death Dream made them do a vow that right here on this grounds, they vow to stop her. If she ever gets free, if she ever comes out, they cut their palms and they vow to this. This is what brings us to the Age of Revelation future. Haven House burning to the ground. And Jitter with 100% certainty that Shavaric is headed down to Namor, headed to the first mutant. Because when Shavaric broke out, that was her goal. To strike out against everybody that harm mutants, that hurt mutants, to include mutants. Namor being dubbed the unofficial first mutant, that's her first goal, to take him out. Now, on how they're gonna get down there, how they're gonna get to Atlantis, leave that to Calico. Now, we don't really fully understand her powers, we don't really understand her horse Ember to the fullest extent, but it's kind of like an undead horse that she can manifest at any time she chooses, not only one, but many. We see them climb atop the steeds, and when they're in the water, they're seahorses. And there's like a aura around them. But as they make their way down there, they're quickly intercepted by Namor. He tells them that you guys destroyed the gift the Earth gave you. You've brought war and death to every continent and island that you touch. You surface dwellers are not welcome here. As Gambit can hear his tone, his voice. He can hear the grief, the anger in every single word that he takes. Namor tells them that if Atlantis is attacked, then Atlantis will defend itself, giving them one final warning, telling them it's time for you to leave. This is where Ransom tries to talk to him, with Chelsea creating a dome around all of them, Calico maintaining the pressure auras around them. Just like that, suddenly, they're mounted cavalry. Ghost horse thousands of meters underneath the surface, ground still wet underneath their feet. While Ransom tries to reason with Namor, he tells the others to go looking. Go look for Shavaric, ensure that she hasn't made it here yet. But this is where Gambit steps forward. He tells Ransom that I got this. Tell Chelsea to leave me a dome and I'll take care of this. Now, the first one to oppose this is Calico. She's like, there's no way in hell that we're gonna leave you here. We know what you're trying to do. She says, you taught me to be a mutant. You taught me how to be a person. Like Namor trying to be like, get out of here. And Calico's like, shut up, dude. Like, I'm talking to my dad right now. Shut the hell up. But Gambit, he simply grabs her by the shoulder and he embraces her. He holds her close as if it was his own daughter. And then he looks over to Ransom, and Ransom says that you told me once you can be a mutant or you can walk the mutant road, telling Ransom to go save the world. They go in their opposite directions, and Gambit faces Namor. He pulls out those playing cards, and this fight gets underway. Charging him up, he doesn't hesitate, he's the first to attack. And he's able to hit him because he can hear the wings. The wings on Namor's feet. Giving away his location, it allows him to hit him. Well, Gambit's able to get the upper hand just for a moment. When Namor is locked down, that's when he launches a trident at him. Namor stopped flying. His position was unknown. Gambit was going good there just for a moment until he takes a trident right to the chest. And he knows, like, that's the lung for sure. Namor telling him that you made your decision. Now you're going to meet your fate. Meanwhile, our young mutants are facing against Shavaric. She has made it here to the land of Atlantis, and she is just destroying as much as she can. She eats the city. And while all of this is going on, Death Dream is asking a question because he's got a bit of an idea. Asking them, how do you guys feel about raising the dead? Like, is this fair play? Off limits? I don't really understand the ethics of how you guys feel about this. While they're discussing this, we see Gambit, he pulls that trident from his own body, and he stands his ground. He goes toe-to-toe with Namor. But what Namor wasn't expecting was Gambit to get some help. This is when we have the arrival of the Dragon of Asgard. He shows up to help his old friend. And he tells Gambit, like, I told you I wouldn't face the mouth of darkness. I didn't say I couldn't help you. And so as our dragon prepares to go eat Namor, we pick up with Shavaric. We pick up with our mutants fighting as much as they can, as hard as they can. They know that they're outclassed here. They know that they can't take on this godlike being. Lucky for them, they're not gonna have to. With a thunderous footstep that feels like an earthquake, the smiles on all of our X-Men faces. Because Rogue has returned. The size of Galactus, wielding the power cosmic. Rogue grabs hold of Shavaric's head and tells her that you've been plagued for centuries. That it's time you finally meet your end. Squishing her hands together, we see the head of Shavaric pop as Gambit falls. Death within a whisper of a grasp. He feels the hand of his love. He feels the hand of Rogue. You see, what happened is that Death Dream, he traded. He had the power of life and death. He traded somehow his eternal life for her mortal return, simply telling them that X equals family. Gambit should have died. He nearly did. But it turns out Jitter's unique ability, she's as skilled as some of the world's best surgeons, arguably one of the world's best surgeons, if not the best surgeon. It all lives in her brain. Their home was burnt down, but they rebuilt. Going on to say that Galactus's power, it was too much for Rogue to absorb, and so she did a glitch. Their family finally back together, none of them remembering why they split up in the first place. Jitter even rebuilding the Sentinel dog. This is when Gambit finally understands. All these years in the darkness, this was always their strength. Alone, they're nothing. They're aimless drifters, sad-eyed wanderers. Alone, they're hopeless. But together, they will always be unbreakable. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so I got mixed feelings on this one. The ending, absolutely love it. I love the we're unbreakable X-Men. That together, Remy and Rogue, they're nothing without one another. I love that. I completely understand it. I fully support it. But bringing Rogue back didn't make any damn sense. You're telling me that for the last 10 years, Death Dream could have done this. At any point, he could have brought Rogue back. A woman that was like a mother to him. And he just chose not to? Only to do so when the moment is so dire that it is an absolute necessity? Kinda doesn't really make sense. I do like Gambit's final stand. Him facing Namor and actually taking him on. Honestly, Gambit was ready to die right there. Had Rogue not returned, he would have died. It would have been the end of him. Even with the help of the Asgardian dragon. But I take this more... the story is what the story is. It's not great. It's okay. It's pretty good. There were great elements throughout this story. It definitely did not land on its feet, in my opinion. But my biggest takeaway from this is the potential of these young mutants. The Outliers. The Louisiana X-Men. I have been hugely invested in them, in their story, and their come-up. And to see their potential here in this, seeing Jitter's ability to pretty much copy anybody and keep it in her brain, making her like one of the most powerful individuals the planet's ever seen. Seeing Calico's power amount to such extraordinary feats. Seeing Ransom take on that leadership role. You guys know I'm a sucker for Death Dream. As an emo kid in my heart of hearts, me and Death Dream were one of the same, you know what I mean? It's great seeing the kid's evolution. And if not for anything, that's exactly what this comic gave me, and I can't be mad about that. You know, the timeline of how comics progress, it could be a long time before we actually see these kids at this point. Though they could do some kind of, time jump, they get lost in time, they grow up, etc., which I wouldn't be opposed to. But it really just gave us our Outliers, the Louisiana X-Men, in the future, grown up, actually seeing what they're capable of. Though I say we could have done this and not called it an Age of Revelation comic. We could have just done a time jump. I mean, we already do all kinds of craziness to begin with. I don't think it needed to be tied into X-Men Age of Revelation. Feels more like they just attached it to try and get people to buy the comic. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. That's going to get you caught up on everything that has been going on with the series so far. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. This is a lot like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping me out tremendously, but you're getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, please do me the favor of simply subscribing to the channel, liking this video, hitting that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.